And like I said, I'm not trying to assume nothing. I'm not trying to say nothing about her son, but that's how a lot of incidents happen. Like, these children will be left with people like they think they could trust, and then shit goes left. And um and there was the other incident where I was telling her, like, um now with, you know, all the stimulus and everything like that, I'm caught up with my bill, and they were always saying that we're not getting extra money next year. Like, this is when everything is starting to go up, and I'm like, damn, you know, if everything keep going looking like this, I'm gonna end up having to get another job. And then because I knew I was gonna get another write-up, I was like, before I get fired, I'm gonna end up having to look for another job. So I ended up getting like 2 or 3 job offers, but they will also work from home. That's when like everybody was offering it. But they was like I would have to still be in the office for 6 weeks for training, and but then I would go back home. So she was the type of person that would be like, oh, if you ever need me, call me, you know, just like what everybody would say that, because once again, they knew I wasn't the type of person to call them and ask them for favors, or ask them, oh, can you help me do this, or stuff like that. So I I ended up asking her this time. I was like, cause she wasn't working. Like, I think around this time, all she was doing was just picking her mom up, cause her mom was like a crossing guard at the school that my autistic daughter went to. So that's all she was doing majority of her day, and then was creating content. So she didn't really have nothing really a lot to do besides, you know, like helping her mom run errands and stuff like that. So I asked her, I was like, okay, if I get this job, would you be able to pick up the kids for like the first 6 weeks until, you know, I get out of training? And I said everything, like it would just only be for 6 weeks, and, you know, whatever. So then I see her already make her a face, and she was like, well, how long is gonna have to be for me to be picking up these kids? She's like, I don't mind doing it, but I just need to know like the time frame. So when I seen that, I was like, yeah, you ain't gotta worry about me asking you for nothing. You ain't gotta worry, because yeah. And mind you, like I said, I was helping her. Like, I would give her like $150 too during the pandemic for whatever she needed for food or whatever. And I was like, you know what, I'm good. So I say all of this to say this, because she comes back up, just like when I went to Las Vegas. Nobody knew I was going to Mexico. Like, nobody knew I was going to Mexico until like the day I was coming back, because that's when I was posting pictures or whatever. So that's why I ended up having to tell the backstory with Titi. Because when I come back from Mexico, she catches a whole like attitude with me, because I didn't tell her I was going to Mexico. Like, I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with these people and why they feel like I have to explain my life to them or whatever, but I don't have to do that. So when it comes down to us getting ready to go to Mexico, like, I have to drive to Jolene's house, and my brother was gonna watch the kids while I was in Mexico, so he had to drive up. So I go to Jolene's house, and she was gonna do my hair and the locks, but the second oldest was there. She ended up doing it. So mind you, when I get there, we're getting our stuff ready, we're going through everything, we're talking, we're kikiing and everything like that. So the time comes. Oh wait, pause on that situation. So we're doing all, like, let's go back to the planning of the trip before we actually go. Now it's like the week before, or a couple of days, yeah, a week before we're supposed to go to Mexico. Now we're still chatting in a group chat, but now I'm starting to get really aggravated with Terry. So Jolene puts one thing, like, she says something, I can't even remember what she put in the group chat. Terry just goes completely left, like with the whole nasty, like you can read it all in the text of how nasty she was trying to be towards Jolene and me. When I seen that, I completely got out of the group chat. Mind you, I made it. I completely got out of it. I called Jolene and I told her I'm sorry. I wish to God that I could get all my money back for this. I would not go and I would stop talking to her because whatever the hell was biting her or frustrating her ass so bad that she had to try to really ruin this trip for us was like, I was just over it. But I already had spent all this money, so I was like, I'm still going. I'm gonna act like nothing's wrong, but when I come back from this trip, yeah, my dear, you're getting cut off. You're definitely getting cut off because at the end of the day, like I said, at that time, I still seen her and my sister. Like, even my sister, like, we don't talk. We just check up on each other. But I don't even, like, she would still always be my sister. But Terry, whatever your problem was or is, like, it got to that point, like, something, you were really trying to be intentionally nasty throughout this whole process on purpose. So back to where we're getting ready, we go to the airport, everything like that. It's just me and me and Jolene hasn't slept. We've been up for literally 12 hours before we catch the flight. We end up catching the flight. We almost missed it because we end up falling asleep on in the lobby. They had to call us in our intercom for us to get up and go get our seats. Plane ride was, like, whatever. So when we get to the airport, that's when we see Terry. And mind you, I'm putting on a mask. I'm acting like I'm happy. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're really here in Mexico. This is going to be all the way lit or whatever. So then we had to take out money to, we had to exchange it to pesos.